Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Factor Cat Paranormal Files. This is episode 30, which means a big episode. Every 10 episodes, I want to do a longer one, break down a bunch of stuff in one episode. It's a big summer blowout. Shout out Frozen, I guess. If you're new to this series, basically, I break down paranormal videos using the 10 years plus experience I have in research and investigating the paranormal, and we decide whether or not these videos are fact or cap or real or fake. I don't really have anything else to say. Let's just jump right into this one. This is another Nuke's Top 5. Big shout out to him for being the top compilation paranormal on the platform. I appreciate it. So let's just jump right into it.
Turn off the lights and go full screen, because it's the top 20 scariest ghost videos of the year. Get out. YouTube user Veronica Shannon says that she has been experiencing a terrifying haunting in her apartment. After hearing and seeing strange things around her home, she installed multiple security cameras. Things start out simply enough. Her cameras pick up some strange light anomalies and a few odd sounds. But then, seemingly after Veronica starts paying more attention to the bizarre incidents and telling friends about them, things get a bit more intense. Her two young sons start waking up terrified and screaming every night at around 3 a.m. And things get even weirder. Twice they catch some odd apparition that seems to appear near the door whenever someone arrives or leaves the apartment. It's almost as if the spirit just doesn't want someone new there. One night, Shane, Veronica, and another friend decide to conduct their own informal sort of seance. It doesn't go well.
Do you need help? Are you stuck here?
Move the camera if you need help.
Oh my god. Oh my.
Are you in the boys' room?
Shut up.
If something bad happens.
Scared to walk in the dark and look terrified.
Is it falling at all?
I'm not even moving it.
You finally moved?
This door's stuck.
Get the fuck out of here.
As Shane asks if the ghost is now in the boys' room, the children immediately start crying their eyes out. But then, when they rush to the door, something is preventing them from opening it. They have to break down the door to get inside to the crying boys. You can check out more of Veronica's story and videos over on her YouTube channel, Veronica Shannon. Catalina?
So I think first off, we got to talk about the orbs, right? I mean, there's a lot of discussion on whether people think orbs are even paranormal. It's dust. The orbs that are recorded in this video are definitely much more prominent than your typical orbs you see in videos, right? Like those were giant white balls. No pun intended. I always sit on the fence with orbs because I don't really know. I do kind of think that they're potentially something, but a lot of the time I think they can be completely just dust in a room. I do have to say these apparitions, especially this one that's like opening the door, is very creepy. It does look like it's very like a camera issue, and you do see that there's a light right here, right? So like that could be some sort of reflection or glare, but it does look like a person was reaching for that door as he was pushing it open, and it does look like there's someone walking behind him. Sorry, let me shrink myself a little bit. Now, as far as the seance and the camera goes, it even the person said, "I'm not moving the camera." So to me, that makes it sound like the camera is movable at any time. So that could be a fake. Their genuine reaction, though, to the door being locked and them having to go in there seems pretty real. But at the same time, like, it always comes down to the same thing. Do we gotta go and look at these people's content and find out if we think that they're making content to get views, or there's genuinely something going on. And it does seem like a case of maybe, and this is a judgment based off of just this small video, right? Maybe that this person definitely believes in ghosts, so they're justifying all these things to, you know, make it seem like a ghost. Like this totally could be just a random occurrence and it's just a weird camera glitch. The fact that their kids wake up, I mean, there's only 2 accounts of here at 3 a.m., so they're trying to play the 3 a.m. thing. It all could just be a very weird timing in this camera glitch or editing. It's always possible it's editing. But I do really like these first couple orb lights were pretty good. This one specifically, it definitely seems like it's just something going in front of their window over here on this side, like a shadow, someone walking by, or a car driving by or something. There is, though, the whole thing where people do think that dogs and babies could potentially see more on whatever plane we want to call ourselves on, and maybe their kids are reacting as such, or the dogs are. But I don't know. Good video around. A lot to discuss. I'm gonna go ahead though and put my 2 cents as it's fake. Either they're making content or this is all just situational and we're justifying it as paranormal.
Veronica's story and videos over on her YouTube channel, Veronica Shannon. Catalina. So everyone has heard of the Bloody Mary party game and the Charlie Charlie challenge. But this next video features an odd supernatural game that I've never heard of before. 2 girls are gathered in front of a creepy doll. Each time they recite a line, they light a candle at the doll's feet. And it didn't go well.
No, de verdad dice que da miedo. Nada, son macanas. Apura, mira, ya estoy grabando. Mi abuelita dice, harto miedo le tiene, anda, apaga la luz. Mi hermano ha visto visual con sus amigos, dice que harto miedo da. No creo. ¿Verdad? Vas a ver. Apura, prende la vela, Ya, 1, 2, 3. Catalina, vuelve a la vida. Lo que el diablo te da, el diablo te quita. Catalina, vuelve a la vida. Lo que el diablo te da, el diablo te quita. En nombre del demonio, manifiéstate hoy, aquí y en este día. En nombre del demonio, manifiéstate hoy, aquí y en este día. ¿Ves? Cállate, versosa. Espérate un rato.
Now this video was sent in by a viewer who says she found it on a random Spanish language website. I searched for the source or even a mention of this Catalina ritual that the girls are doing, but nothing showed up. So I leave it to you to decide. Is this a haunted doll caught on camera? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. Truth?
I mean, their reaction seems genuine. They seem pretty goddamn scared. And It's tough. I've never heard of this before, the Catalina thing. I will say that South America has a lot of paranormal traditions, and a lot of different legends and curses, and there's a lot of different, I don't know what word I want to use, but there's definitely a culture that revolves around the paranormal and the occult. And I'm not surprised that, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have some sort of validity. Now, as far as this video goes, I don't know. It definitely moves. Could you fake that? For sure. Could the doll just be motorized? Yeah, that's all for sure a possibility. But it definitely seems like whatever is going on, it scared the shit out of those two kids. And that to me is funny. And if it's real, I would love to see more videos of it.
And consequences. This next clip was sent in by Nuke's Top 5 viewer Sarah Baranski. Now, this video is shrouded in a bit of mystery in that I just can't seem to find the original video. And Sarah, who submitted the video, says that she's also searched all over for the original clip with no luck. So, the story goes that apparently the woman in the video was working the overnight cleaning shift in an old empty house. She claimed that she regularly experienced absolutely terrifying paranormal encounters during her nightly shift. But no one believed her. So, one night after being challenged by her friends, she went to the house, left off all the lights, and live streamed the whole thing to her friends on Snapchat.
Right, I'm going to go open this door now. And you see some shadows, but that is me putting my phone in my other arm. Right. Oh! What? God. Sounds like there's something in that bedroom. Sometimes it opens the door for you. Emma, if you're in there, can you open my door, please? That's the attic. I'm up to the top of the stairs. Keep. Come on, Kelly, you've been here 1,000 times. Come on. I'm going to go into Philip's bedroom now. Now I want to go back down now. I want to go back down now, seriously, and I dare twatting move. Hello? I'm sorry for camera checking, but it's... Big mistake, doing this cleaning at night. Stupid mistake. Right, I'm coming back to the stairs. I don't... Ah! F***ing hell! Oh, God. Oh, Mum. Oh, I don't want my mum because she's an ass, but there you go. Come on, I'm going to man up now. Well, not man up because I'm a woman. I'm going to woman up now. Come on. Can anybody hear what I can hear? Can you hear it, Chris? That's it. Hold on, let me go. All right, just leave me alone for 5 till I get downstairs, please. Just leave me alone. Somebody's just said something to me. Who's on? Oh, I'm going to shit myself. What? Right, I'm coming out, wherever you are. This isn't funny no more. This is not funny. Off. Right, I've just shut door. Bed, I'm going to sit on the... I daren't move. Oh! Oh! I want to go down. What the was that? Eileen, I hope you're hearing this, and Anne-Marie, I hope you're all watching this and that swearing. I can hear tapping in that cupboard. I don't know where... Oh! I don't know where to go. Right, I'm going to go on to landing. Oh... What the hell? Alright, I think I've had enough. I want to go down. I want to go... Right, I'm gonna watch, because I'm gonna kick the f***ing teddy back. Water's running in bathroom.
Now, everything that's taking place in the video is bizarre enough, but what happens next is downright chilling.
That's it. I've shit it. I'm going. I'm just gonna ask the little girl that's in the little bedroom. Emma, I'm sorry for shouting, sweet. Will you open the door for me, please?
Wow.
I have just seen something. I'm just gonna ask the little girl that's in the little bedroom. Emma, I'm sorry for shouting, sweet. Will you open the door for me, please? I have just seen something. Right, that's it. I'm off down. I can't take no more. I am off frigging down. The things I do for you lot.
The woman calls out to a little girl ghost named Emma that allegedly haunts one of the rooms. No response. But there's a bang from a different bedroom, and when she turns, this. It looks like some pale figure that actually reflects the light is now standing at the doorway, but it quickly ducks back inside the room. And with this, the woman has had enough. She ends her live stream and just gets out of there. So, what do you think? Did this late night cleaner catch proof of her ghostly encounter on her Snapchat live stream? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. If you see a video...
Man, that's a lot to unpack in one video. Oh, I held my arm up halfway through because I was getting the chills because it was so much. You know, the setting couldn't be creepier. That house is awfully terrifying. It's just perfect creepy atmosphere. You're like kind of claustrophobic in these little hallways. The walls and the interior decorating is very like ominous. Like it gives me the Shining vibes a little bit with like the crazy colored carpet and the wallpaper and whatnot. Like even the bathroom has wallpaper. Very, very creepy. It sucks that they can't find the source of this video, because I think that would tell a lot. Because my two, like, I'm like all in on this video. I don't know why. Because I usually shit talk videos that have so much crazy stuff going on, because the odds of it happening are so slim. But these are the two fences I sit on. Either this is real, and this lady just was like, I gotta show some people this because it's too fucking crazy, and I can't deal with it on my own. Or this is a movie project. Right? Like, because we gotta remember, one of the biggest paranormal movies to ever hit the market was Paranormal Activity. Right? Like, whether you guys go back and watch them now and think that they're dumb, or you love them, or hate them, whatever, it's irrelevant. When that movie came out, it set this new precedent for paranormal movies, for the horror movie genre. You know, it was a low budget, filmed by just two people, and it captivated the movie market for quite some time. And then they went on to make like 8 movies, and no one cares anymore. But it allowed a lot of people to do their own attempts. And I'm kind of wondering, since they can't find the root of where this video is from, if this is someone's attempt at a Paranormal Activity movie. Because almost everything's so, like, too perfect, right? Like, even the lady, like, her reactions are perfect. Like, she's giving, like, a monologue. Like, I need my mom, but my mom's an ass. Like, and she has an audience she's talking to. So, like, that's why I'm so torn. It's either the perfect paranormal video, the best one I've ever seen in my life, or it's a movie project. And I can't tell. Like, I really can't tell. The lady, like, she seems scared, but at the same time, like, she's giving these talk, like, she's saying this shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's so tough. So tough. It creeped me out, though. I'll give it that. For the first time in a while, it creeped me out. Like, I had to, I disassociated for like a half second, and I'm like, fuck, I'm in a dark room in my basement right now. You know, like, it was a good video.
She ends her live stream and is quietly around. Doors open and close on their own, and drawers slide open when no one is around. Then one night, Sabrina captures something absolutely shocking on her CCTV camera. At 5:41 in the morning, Sabrina's It almost looks as if Sabrina's cat is thrown into the air and then dragged into the dining room. The cat violently hisses as though it's being attacked, and the other pets become very disturbed as well. Then a chair seems to move from under the table all on its own. Sabrina is woken up by the commotion and checks to see what happened. Luckily, all of her pets are unharmed, but when Sabrina looks at the CCTV footage, she is baffled. Sabrina says that it would have been absolutely impossible for this particular cat to leap into the air like that. Because you see, this cat is actually missing one of its legs. So, what do you think could have happened to Sabrina's cat?
Okay. If there's one thing I'm a fucking expert at, it's cats. Okay. If you watch any of my other stuff, I love cats. I'm a cat person. I have 3 cats currently. This is cat activity, for sure. And let me break it down for you. Even though it only has 3 legs, what that cat's doing physically is not out of its realm of possibility at all. Okay. My guess, and I'm willing to bet money on it, is little cute tripod here. Sorry, that's rude. I don't know what the cat's name is. That'd be a cute name for a 3-legged cat, though. It looks like he's chasing after a spider, a bug, something, because he's kind of pouncing. I think he's chasing after some sort of bug, whatever it might be. We just can't see it on the floor because he's darting around looking at something. I think whatever it might have been jumped on him and either bit him, or, you know, maybe it was a mosquito and you just can't catch it on camera, and he freaked out. I've had cats that freak out just like this because of bugs, or they're startled. Cats scare themselves all the time. They jump, they freak out, they flail their bodies. If you look at cats fighting, this is how they fight. It's very vicious, it's very violent. They're spinning around, they're kicking off their back legs. Like, that is what I'm willing to bet money on. And it caused all the other animals to go see, like, what the fuck's going on, because this cat's doing this and it normally doesn't. I think a bug bit it, or a bug tried to go after it, and that was its response. Like, the 3-legged thing, I think, is just, if this was one of their other cats, I don't think they would have said anything. But I don't think its 3 legs are holding it back from doing that.
Let me know down in the comments. Catch 'em all on camera. Zach from the YouTube channel Catch 'em All Fishing has a channel dedicated to fishing and catching reptiles. Nothing creepy or nothing paranormal whatsoever. At least until this recent video. In the video, Zach is exploring an undisclosed location that he calls, quote, an abandoned underground city. He says that he is trying to find and capture a python, as the large snakes are drawn to warm, wet places like this. As he enters the dark building, he immediately feels like he's not alone.
So, before I get too deep in here, I just want to let you all know I'm looking for snakes right now, for pythons. And honestly, feel like I shouldn't be in here. It's really creepy in here, and it's really big. Hello?
As he explores the dark underground building, Zach is a little jumpy, and it turns out he has reason to be.
Dude. What? Oh, hell no. Hell no. What? Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Zach hears strange moans coming from somewhere down the winding underground hallways. He decides to hide, thinking there might be someone else in there with him. Someone up to no good.
Wish me luck, guys. I gotta shut off my light. I don't know what's going on. The voices stopped. The voices stopped, guys. What the?
Eventually, the voices stop, and Zach decides to make a break for it, leaving the underground tunnel system behind. But later, when Zach reviews his footage, he realizes that he caught something absolutely terrifying in one of his camera shots.
It's leaking outside from somewhere.
Hello?
The bizarre figure of a pale man seems to be staring at Zach from the darkness. Zach claims that he didn't even see the figure until he reviewed his footage later. However, he says that throughout his entire exploration, he felt like someone was following behind him. So, is this strange pale figure a ghost caught on camera? Or was there just some creepy person stalking Zach throughout the tunnels? You decide. You can watch Zach's full video on his YouTube channel, Catch 'em All Fishing. Burn?
Yeah, it's creepy. It is creepy. I mean, there was definitely someone making noises, right? And because at first I thought, like, well, it could just be the wind. Because I've been in underground things like that before. And, you know, when the wind starts going through, it makes weird noises. It sounds like someone's talking or wailing. But actually having that still frame, it's one of two things, right? And I always feel like we have to go to these two things. Either he knew that, like, he looks like he's fairly successful on YouTube, and he knows that branching into different audiences can definitely boost your sources. You know, it's good for your analytics. And it could easily be a Photoshop. It even looks kind of photoshopped a little bit, like, and I don't want to say that because I don't know this guy's content, but it definitely could be, but I'm leaning more towards he went into this quote-unquote abandoned city, and maybe just there's some people who got to live there, or are also investigating at the same time he is. You know, abandoned buildings and places are a super popular thing now. People go and investigate all the time, and you know, this could be someone trolling them. It could be someone who's living there or temporarily homeless. Like, it's all a possibility. And I always tell people, like, if you're gonna go explore, it's better to go with at least one person or a group. And if for whatever reason you really feel inclined to do it yourself, just tell people so they know where you're at. So if you don't show back up, they can go looking for you. Because This world's filled with crazy people, man, and you never know. Like, you're completely innocent doing something innocent, like going and trying to find pythons, you know, in this abandoned place. Completely an innocent thing, you know, making content out of it, and you might get snatched up by someone who is crazy. You know, it's a mad world we live in, man.
Following behind him. So, after reading, this next video was recorded by a Jordanian ghost hunter that I've never featured before, named Mahmoud. In the clip, he's investigating an abandoned building that is said to be home to a powerful curse. As Mahmoud explores, he begins to find old crumpled pieces of paper inside the cupboards, but he pays them no mind. However, it seems almost as if someone or something is watching him as he explores the house's cabinets.
شايفين شيء يا اخوان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And when he checks his footage later, he finds that there might have been yet another paper on a higher cabinet shelf that he couldn't reach. And this one almost seems to move on its own.
ما اعرف شو فيها. شايفين شيء انتو؟ انا مش شايف صراحة.
And then, this is where things become truly bizarre. Mahmoud finds a bright red paper inside one cabinet and decides to see what it is.
فتحة. شو في هون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شو هذا؟ مساء يا اخوان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. خلينا نفتحه. كثير يصير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. والله ما بضل. والله ما بضل ولا دقيقة. من دخلت.
As he lays down the paper to examine it, the very floor beneath him seems to burst into flame. He makes a quick run for it. Later, when Mahmoud examines the strange paper that he found inside the house, he finds a series of strange symbols in an odd, indecipherable language. So did Mahmoud find an actual curse scribbled on pieces of paper spread throughout the house? Or is it just an elaborate hoax? You decide. You can check out Mahmoud's full video and his other ghost explorations over on his YouTube channel.
You know, that's pretty fucking crazy, right? I'm still claiming that it's fake, but I want to do more research and see if maybe this is something that's more common. And obviously I want to dive into his channel and see if he's making stuff for content or if he's actually claiming it's real.
Back in the 1960s, you decide. You can check out Mahmoud's full video and his other ghost explorations over on his YouTube channel. A cry. From beyond. Back in the 1960s, the sad story of teenager Sylvia Likens was perhaps one of the most tragic events ever to occur in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, I won't go into the grisly details of the case, but suffice to say, Sylvia Likens met a horrible fate, sometimes imprisoned in her own home's basement. Sylvia finally lost her life, and the house remains abandoned. In this video, YouTuber Carlos Coy 135 and a friend are investigating the Indianapolis home where Sylvia met her tragic fate. Even though the pair don't notice it, things get a bit bizarre almost immediately. The house is empty, but this.
This is a freaky ass house.
Did you see it? When the video is slowed down, you can see that it looks like the curtains on the far left window are pushed back, as if someone is taking a look outside. But the house is supposed to be empty. As they walk around the outside of the home, their camera catches another strange anomaly.
Where was the basement? Like where?
Viewers say that it looks almost as if some misty white shape is peeking from the window and then rapidly ducks back inside. But this is when things get truly bizarre. The guys check out the basement where Sylvia Likens was imprisoned for much of her time in the house.
This is the basement where the little girl was tortured. Dude, come here. This is freaky. As you can see, this is what the basement looked like. That's oh hell no, this picture is serious too. Dude, I ain't fucking. I'm not fucking. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta swear to God.
As they walk away from the basement window, well, just listen closely and see what you hear.
I ain't fucking. I'm not fucking. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta
Now, some claim that they can actually hear screams for help coming from the basement. Here's the clip again with subtitles revealing what many viewers say they hear.
I'm not fucking. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta
So I tried to boost the audio by isolating certain frequencies, but since all speakers and headphones reproduce sound so differently, this may sound better or possibly worse, according to your speakers.
I'm not fucking. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta
So, does Sylvia Likens' ghost haunt this home? Or are viewers seeing and even hearing things that just aren't there? You decide.
You know, I've talked a little bit about what my paranormal belief might be. And in my head, I obviously am a fence sitter with these videos most of the time, leaning more towards them being faked or not real, and be either it's circumstantial or content creation. But my take on it is, I do think that there's something that exists that we can't measure. And I think part of it, we call it paranormal. And to give a little bit of a backstory, if you've made it this long, I appreciate it. I'm going on a rant at like the 39-minute mark, and I don't know how many people actually get here, but I think that, well, I don't think. We know scientifically that our body produces energy. And I'm not talking your spiritual energy stuff. I'm talking, we know that our body produces energy when we're just living. And it can be measured now on certain levels. Some people in the paranormal world will call that your aura. Some people who are religious will call that your soul. I think scientifically we just call it energy. And I tend to think that if there is something paranormal going on, or what we call paranormal, I think that it's imprints of that energy in places. And we aren't able to properly measure or understand it yet, given the technology we have. So something along the lines of a tragic occurrence like this young lady's, where she was held in her basement and it sounds like she was tortured and then killed and who knows what else. I think that her body would have produced so much energy, like burning it off through screaming and terror and all this type of stuff, that it could potentially linger and imprint itself in that area. And I think that's what we kind of call ghosts or hauntings or paranormal. I don't think it's a spirit that is left over. I think that it's an energy that's resonating longer than the person who left it is. Now, is this fact? Of course not. Of course not. And I also have some weird beliefs on the sense, like, I do think that some paranormal things exist, but I don't believe in, traditional religion or God or afterlife. I don't. And I'm not here to debate it. I don't debate with people anymore. I'm too old for that stuff. I think that when people go through horrific events, that it does something to the body that produces a energy that can be imprinted for a long time. And I think that's why when we think of paranormal places, it's where people were killed, where people were tortured, abandoned places where people had to suffer. I think there's something, whether it's a brain chemical or your body exerting so much force that it just lingers. And whether it lingers with sound and time, I don't know. But I think that's what paranormal is. So whenever I come across these videos where, the story is so tragic and so awful, and they find potential evidence, I think it's real. I do. I think that maybe this poor girl exerted so much so much energy in her brain. We have so many glands in our brain that produce so much weird stuff, right? Like when we die, we produce tryptamine or whatever it is, the same chemical in like ayahuasca that makes you hallucinate. Like, we don't even know that much about the fucking brain. I think that it's possible that it produces things that can linger. I really, really do. But I could be wrong, and it could sound completely idiotic to some people, and that's fine. I don't claim to be right, and I don't even know if I'm right. I'm an adult with an open mind that most of the time critically thinks about situations, and I'm always changing my opinions because they're opinions and they're ever evolving and adapting to situations. And that's where I'm at with paranormal in my head, is that if there is something, it's not what we think it is. It's not traditional spirits or hauntings or demons or anything like that. I think that it's resonated energy from a horrific event. But let me know if you agree with me. I could be completely wrong. Who knows?
In Hampshire, England was established in the early 1500s, and over its grim 500-year history, it served as a formidable English military fort. It was also sometimes used as a prison to hold convicts sentenced to death. So it goes without saying that the castle has seen some dark and bloody times. Many visitors claim to have seen ghosts and shadows in its haunted hallways, including the spirit of a long-dead monk. Paranormal investigator Tony Ferguson has explored the haunted Hurst Castle many times, and on each visit, he seems to capture something more and more terrifying. On this particular visit, Tony brings along fellow investigator Paul Sissel. The two men split up to explore the castle all alone. But for Paul Sissel, it didn't go well. Paul says that he felt as if he were out of control, possessed by the spirit of some angry entity from the castle. As Tony and Paul continue exploring, they say that they feel a strange and very powerful energy in one particular room. A small castle alcove with one creepy little window that seems to open to nothing. On his next visit, Tony comes alone, determined to investigate this tiny little room and see if he catches any paranormal activity. He sets up a camera to record and ends up capturing something horrific. When Tony reviews his footage later, he is shocked to see a small dark figure with glowing eyes standing at the window in the small Hurst Castle room. Now, you might think that this could simply be a person standing outside the window, but it turns out that that would be impossible. You see, behind this window there is only a small gap and then concrete. The area behind this window was completely closed off with bricks and cement long ago. So then the question is, who or what is this? You decide. Haunted?
I guess I'm just not seeing what he's trying to explain, like, because to me, with that, like, if you've ever tried to record in the dark with like a, you know, what's it called, night vision, it doesn't capture stuff well. So to me, this kind of seems like it's zooming in and out, and it's zooming into a dark spot, and it's just trying to highlight a brighter spot. I don't see a face. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Like, there's that, and then I assume this. I don't know. I think that's just pixelation trying to lighten up a dark spot with night vision. As far as this dude like smacking his camera or whatever, it's silly.
Now this next clip is just completely random and bizarre. It's not from some old creepy haunted house or any place that would even seem remotely spooky. This video was actually recorded by a Nuke's Top 5 viewer at a random Holiday Inn hotel room in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, a little girl sets up a camera to record herself unboxing her new necklace. And then, everything just goes wrong. In an instant, a bunch of bananas in the hallway randomly fly off the shelf, the door lurches shut, and strangest of all, the bathroom sink turns on full blast all by itself. The little girl in the recording told her family, and they found this when they checked the camera. So is this a haunted Holiday Inn? Is it a hoax? And if it is a hoax, why does this little girl's startled reaction seem 100% real? Let me know what you think. Behind...
Yeah, the little girl definitely doesn't seem like she's trying to sell anything. It's like more of like a, what the fuck type of look, you know? Like, she's just kind of more like, what is going on? Like, did this just happen? Like, it's not even processing. I don't know. Honestly, that's more creepy than some of these haunted places and videos we're getting. Like, the bananas fell, and I don't know. I like that video. I don't really know what's going on. It's short and sweet to the point, but it doesn't look like she hits the bananas, because that's what I first thought, was like maybe her shoulder hit him or hit a plate that was holding him or something. And then the door just kind of closes on her, and she's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, why is this door moving? And then the sink turns on. Like, it doesn't look like she bumps him. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if this is fake, great job. But I don't think it is. This is really weird. It's almost like she doesn't even acknowledge that the door was like trying to shut on her. And she's more worried about the bananas. It's almost like she didn't even realize like the door was... I don't know. That's weird, man. That's a weird video. For sure.
Behind closed doors. Over on the popular Pakistani ghost hunting channel Wo Kia Ta, the team investigates a farmhouse that is allegedly haunted by a spirit or demon. While investigating, they begin to hear an odd sound coming from inside one of the empty rooms.
अंदर से आवाज़ें बड़ी अजीब सी आ रही हैं, जैसे कोई बच्चे हैं अंदर. क्या है ये? आवाज़ आई? हाँ. लोग हो गए. नहीं ना, इसे तो लोग की हो. इस रूम से तो नहीं ना अभी तक कुछ हुआ. पता नहीं इस रूम में क्या आवाज़ आ रही है. अरे ये रूम नहीं है. इसको देखें तो शहरी में थोड़ी खड़ी. उस कब्र अंदर के हालात देखे यार। ये है क्या बाथरूम? हालात चेक करें अंदर के यार। इधर कॉर्नर में है कुछ। क्या कॉर्नर में कुछ बैठा हुआ है यार? हाँ शायद मेरे मोबाइल पे रिकॉर्ड हुआ है।
One of the explorers claims he saw something lurking in the corner of the room. When they check his phone footage, this. Gathering their courage, they head into the room to investigate.
भी नहीं है यार, इस जगह बैठी हुई थी। यहाँ पर इसी जगह वहाँ से बिल्कुल इस जगह पे छोटा सा था उसका कद यार, ऐसे ऐसे नीचे बैठी हो ना।
Something seems to try to lock them inside the room. And then things really get weird.
यार उस कॉर्नर में वहां से जो जगह की थी
वही चल रही, आप कह रहे थे कि
मैं कह रहा हूँ दरवाजा यार ये
जैसे पहले सर नीचे करके देख रहे थे ना,
हड्डी पे लगी है।
Something violently shoves open the door, slamming right into the investigator's arm. Later, when they watch their footage of the incident back, they find something that chills them. So did the Wokiata team catch a real ghost or demon on camera? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. You can watch Wokiata's full investigation of the haunted farmhouse over on their channel.
Definitely seems kind of corny. Again, though, cultural differences always have are always important in these paranormal videos, because like the way that I would handle that situation is vastly different than how they would have, right? Like if they really got locked in there, it didn't really seem like there was much panic, versus like if it was me and my crew or something like that, like it would be much more of a panic scenario. And I don't know, I just didn't buy it. It just didn't seem genuine. Maybe I'm just being too nitpicky, but there's so much. There was a perfect apparition on the ground, and they caught whatever that demon-looking thing is on the door, hanging on the door, and the doors were locked, and then it swung up and it hit them. Like, I don't know. I just don't buy it.
From hell or high water. The popular YouTuber TechRax has been testing the durability of technology for years, especially the Samsung Galaxy series and the Apple iPhone. On his channel, you can watch these phones get destroyed in pretty much every way imaginable. He drops them from extreme heights, he crushes them with cars, shocks them with tasers, pounds them with hammers, there's hot knives, gas torches, and even a lawnmower. You name it, and TechRax has probably thrown an iPhone at it. However, when testing the durability of his brand new iPhone 11 Pro, things take an unexpected turn. He travels 7 hours to an isolated spot in the Nevada desert. He plans to drop the iPhone 11 into a 50-foot deep hot spring named Diana's Punch Bowl. For unknown reasons, this hot spring is also known by the name the Devil's Cauldron.
And we made it to the location, guys. I apologize in advance if it's super windy. We're basically in the middle of this desert. I want to show you guys the rig of what exactly is going to go on first before I even show you the hole. Now I want to show you guys the actual hole. So as I'm walking close, just a couple steps here. Pretty crazy, guys. You can see there's steam coming straight out of this water. It's supposed to be about 140 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, so you will burn yourself if you try like taking a dip in here, but it's super sick, literally in the middle of nowhere.
Now, the first time Tech Rex drops his recording iPhone into the extremely hot water, the phone comes out fine and the footage shows nothing particularly strange. But the second time he drops his phone into the Devil's Cauldron, things get a little weird. When he reviews the footage later, he's shocked by what he finds. TechRax says he has no idea what could have caused this strange underwater screaming, especially since his first recording didn't pick up any odd sounds at all. So, just what do you think this strange sound from the Devil's Cauldron?
Literally in the middle of nowhere.
Now, the first time TechRax drops his recording iPhone into the extremely hot water, the phone comes out fine and the footage shows nothing particularly strange.
You can still hear it's the drone. You can hear it right there.
Now, the first time recording iPhone into the extremely hot water, the phone comes out fine and the footage shows nothing particularly strange. But let me know down in the comments. You can watch this.
Okay, for me, 100%, that just sounds like the drone, and it just made weird noises on the surface of the water, and it scooped some water into the speaker at a high velocity or something like that, and then yeah, the phone stopped working because you're dunking into 160 degrees. I don't know. I feel like that one's definitely nothing paranormal. Very cool video though, and that spot's fucking dope. That's a cool ass place. For sure.
This full video as well as TechRax's examination of the footage over on his YouTube channel. Followed home. Over on the YouTube channel Ashes to Ashes, Dave and his brother Chris explore abandoned and sometimes supposedly haunted houses. In this investigation of a woman who says that she has been haunted by an evil entity that has followed her for most of her life, the guys pick up a very strange EVP.
Who's here? Get busy.
You too?
Yep. Is there anything that would like to, Is there anything that would like to, I'm gonna ask you to give us a sign up here.
A creepy little voice seems to say, "Go with him." And Dave says that he thinks the evil entity in the house might have done just that. Since the investigation, he's heard sounds and voices in his home, especially in one particular hallway. And then, one day, his dog begins to act very strange.
Who is it?
Dog's definitely freaked.
Who's that? Who is it? Who's down there? I'll show you that there's nobody in the hall. Who is it?
Did you see it?
I'll show you that there's nobody in the hall. Who is it?
Some odd thing with pointy ears seems to be hiding around the edge of a door. And note that when Dave swings his camera back around, whatever it was is now gone. You can watch all of Ashes to Ashes Paranormal Investigations over on their YouTube channel. First ghost.
Interesting one. I mean, that dog's definitely freaked out by something, and that EVP was pretty solid. I don't put it past that that's a real video. I would obviously want to dive into Ashes to Ashes channel a little bit and see if, you know, we got to break down that barrier of, do we think that this is content creation, or do we think they're actually looking for paranormal? But I like the video. I'm definitely not going to say it's fake.
Ghost hunt, last ghost hunt. Reddit user Manda Burke and her husband were exploring the haunted Hillview Manor, an old mental asylum located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. They had bought tickets as part of a ghost hunting tour group. Manda says they walked around, checked the EVP meters supplied by the tour company, but nothing much happened. Then they began to hear an odd shuffling sound at the end of one of the halls, but they thought nothing of it at the time. Then, suddenly from the end of the hall, they heard running footsteps charging towards them. Manda says that the whole event was one of the scariest things she's ever experienced. Now, I should note that I don't usually show videos without some visible or audible evidence of the supernatural. But looking at the reaction of this group and seeing just how hard and painful those falls look.
Yeah, I was going to say, this dude, like, watch his arm. He just about snaps his arm.
Manda says that the whole event was one of the scariest things she's ever experienced. Now, I should note that I don't usually show videos without some visible or audible evidence of the supernatural. But looking at the reaction of this group and seeing just how hard and painful those falls look, I think this is pretty compelling.
Oh, the dude hit his head?
I think this is visible or audible evidence of the supernatural.
Oh,
but looking at the reaction,
fucking like, sorry, it's not funny.
Action of this group,
hope he's okay.
And seeing just how hard and painful those falls look, I think this is pretty compelling evidence that something came down that hall. But as always, you decide.
Now, obviously, we don't have anything to really tell if it's real or not. But keep in mind, anytime there is haunted tours of that caliber, where it's a for-profit situation, I believe, you got to remember, like, they're trying to make money. So if they do some real scary shit and you go tell everyone it was super scary, they're going to get more customers. Not saying that's what happened, but it's always a thing.
Construction. This next clip is from a Chinese ghost hunter named Xiao Long, who broadcasts his investigations live on a Chinese streaming service. Xiao Long and his friend are exploring an abandoned building that is said to be haunted by the ghost of a construction worker who lost his life while working on the building. As they begin their investigation, creepy things start to happen immediately.
都能上楼吗？ 哪里了？我操！我操！我刚才看着好像鸡巴干活的。你滚他妈了个逼的！真的。哎，搁哪呀？让大家走过去了。
One of the explorers swears that he saw a worker dressed in construction clothes walk through the lobby downstairs, but his friend doesn't seem to believe him. He shrugs it off and they continue their investigation.
这屋里进不了，进不了，别进！哎！哎呦我操你妈的！哎呦我操！ 操你妈！这上这全鸡巴那啥，这好个板驴子呢！哎呦我操！我操你妈！哎呦我咋来了？我操你妈！厕所里有人！在啊！在哪呢？我操你妈！搁这！哎！我操你妈！不对呀！ 你咋的了？你咋的了，里头点儿？啊！我操你妈！
Again, the same explorer claims to have seen someone, but again, his friend thinks he's just being hysterical. Now, before we go any further, I should point out that unlike the Saudi Arabian ghost hunters who pray to ward off evil spirits, the Chinese believe that cursing and acting angry will scare away evil ghosts and demons. And you'll see what I mean.
Yeah, I think we've watched these guys before, and I didn't know that that was a belief system where they start screaming and cursing to scare them away, but I remember I was getting a good kick out of it because they were just fucking real upset.
我操你妈的！哎，我操你妈呀！哎，我操你妈！哎哎！
It's pretty creepy. There's the helmet.
你出来！我操你妈的！门后边是吧？出来！
And yet again, one of the explorers sees what looks like a man in a red hard hat peering from behind a door. This time, he even manages to capture it on camera. But yet again, his friend doesn't believe him. That is, until everything suddenly takes a terrifying turn. As they make their escape, the building seems to be crashing down all around them. One of them falls right through an open hole in the floor. Luckily, they eventually manage to make it outside the building to safety. So, what do you think? Did they catch extreme footage of an angry construction worker ghost on their live stream? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
I mean, it's tough, right? Because that guy seems genuinely fucking terrified. Like, and he just about ate shit to a level of, like, really bad hurt yourself thing. You fell down a hole, right? So it was a pretty creepy video, man. You know, could it have been faked? Of course, everything could be faked. But I just, a lot of the time you got to really base it off of the reactions, and it definitely seems like that guy is really scared. Like, and whether he's just freaking himself out or not, like, when we saw something with that red helmet on and then they went in there and the red helmet was on the ground, either they're writing a good fucking script and they got someone who was able to hop up, because that's the only thing that we don't see that could be the fake part, is he doesn't show the ceiling, and the ceiling, like where the ceiling tiles fell from. So it is possible that, like, they had some, like, a third person working with him, and he put the helmet on and peeked out, and then put the helmet on the floor, and then jumped up into the rafters somehow. I don't know how, but, and they could just be faking it that way. But I don't know. I mean, give that guy a fucking Academy Award if it's a fake, because he definitely seems scared. I don't think it's fake, though.
Frozen with fear. Years ago, Tyler Rowe worked in a Kroger grocery store in Powell, Tennessee. He claims that every morning at exactly 9:02 a.m., the staff witnessed this at the warehouse freezer door.
Freezers better not rest. Here it comes. Is there a light? Is there a light in here? And there's nothing in here. There's nothing, nobody, anything. It's just open.
Tyler says that it was every morning like clockwork. At 9:02 a.m., there was banging on the warehouse freezer, and then the door would swing open on its own. But there was no one inside.
Here it comes.
So 2 months ago, someone named Emily claimed in the video's comments that she currently worked at the same Kroger grocery store, and that the strange occurrence still happened, even though the store had recently replaced the freezer door. She says that the freezer door still slams open and closed, all on its own. Meanwhile, on TikTok.
It's definitely creepy. I wonder if it's... I'm trying to think, maybe it's an airflow problem. Maybe it's kicking on at that 901 point, and it's pushing, like, the air, and there's no, like, outlet for it, so it's just too much air, and it pushes it open. Like, if it does... I don't know. I'm trying to work through it. It's definitely creepy, though.
Andy Sauces Kahamase is trying to record a video for TikTok when he spots something truly chilling. The face of a little girl seems to be peeking out at Andy from behind his wardrobe. However, when Andy checks the area, no one there. Not only is there no one in the space, but Andy demonstrates in a follow-up video how no one could have even been sitting in this narrow area to begin with.
Voy a aclarar algunos youtubers que en esta parte de aquí atrás, en esta parte sí hay un espacio, pero un espacio donde cae mi puño. Y aquí supuestamente fue donde apareció la cabeza. Lo malo que esta huevadita, este troperito aquí es bien pesado.
So, what do you think? Is this the ghost of a little girl, or is it just a very good fake?
Yeah.
Let me know down in the comments. The
It's just a good fake. It looks 2D on it. It looks 2D. I don't know. It doesn't look like it has any depth to its face, so I'm going fake.
Watcher in the window. Over on the YouTube ghost hunting channel, The Haunted Side, lead investigator Patrick and his cameraman Jason are investigating the supposedly very haunted Cleanwater Demon House in Reno, Nevada. According to local legend, many people have lost their lives in the house, and the property is said to have been home to occult activity for years. As Patrick and Jason investigate, they experience many strange occurrences.
Region.
Oh, I got dizzy there for a second.
Home. Central.
Oh, it's so cold right here.
Yeah, it just got real cold.
Oh. Who's in here?
Ambition.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
As Patrick says, "Who's in here?" without even noticing, he picks up a small voice, almost like a child, whispering, "Me."
Who's in here? What the f? What the f? Footsteps right above us.
The guys hear bizarre noises from upstairs and head up to investigate. As they are checking out the upper floor, some truly creepy things are happening on the floor below.
If you walk closer to this machine right here, it'll let us know that you're there. Can you come just a little bit closer? Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Did you see that?
After reviewing the footage, we could find no explainable reason that bike should have fallen over, so we decided to regroup and head back upstairs.
Upstairs EVP session. Is there somebody up here with me? Whoa! Dude!
Is that you?
No.
What the f?
But throughout the whole investigation, there's something even more chilling going on. Something that the guys don't even realize.
I don't know what it is about that staircase, but it just doesn't feel good. What was that?
What?
Patrick catches an unexplained shadow figure looming in a doorway, as if staring out at them. Even more bizarre, they have a second camera filming inside, and as you can see, there's no one there.
Feel good. What was that?
What?
I don't think that was a shadow, but it was on the other side of that window.
But it gets even creepier. They don't realize it, but this strange dark figure seems to be watching over them throughout their investigation.
I'm gonna move the volume down like a smidgen. Just tell me when.
Okay.
When it's not feeding back like that. Smidgen. Just tell me when it's not feeding back like that. What's especially creepy about this figure is it appears there and then a second later disappears from that window.
To watch the Haunted Side's full 2-part investigation of the Cleanwater Demon House, as well as their other weekly paranormal investigations, check out their YouTube channel. It follows.
I really like what they're doing with their channel. That is a channel that I want to
watching over them
bit.
Disappears from that window.
To watch the Haunted Side.
The Haunted Side investigations. They definitely seem a lot more professional with it, and it's not this act. It's like they're really fascinated and interested in paranormal, which is what I like to see. That's the type of stuff, and it seems like maybe they fucking caught some weird shit going on. The bike is much more creepy. The bike falling is much more creepy to me than the piece of lumber, because it could have just been an accidental like bump and you just didn't realize, and then over time it slowly started falling because like you're walking around on the floor, yada yada yada, right? The bike though, it seemed like it just, I don't know. I mean, same thing, I guess. Moving around, like the force of you stepping on the floor could have shifted the bike around. But one thing that Nuke didn't really mention is in this second, and this goes, you have to believe in orbs if you think there's something, but you know, they capture this shadow thing right here that's not in the frame in the next second. But if you watch the red frame over here, you see a very visible orb travel out of picture, in picture. It goes over there quickly, and then it loops up and around. It could be a bug, of course, but it's in the same exact spot that the shadow figure's at. Very good video. Very, very intriguing. I like that. Definitely doesn't seem fake. They don't seem like a faking type. Maybe, but I'm going to dig into them a little bit more.
To watch the Haunted Side's full 2-part investigation of the Cleanwater Demon House, as well as their other weekly paranormal investigations, check out their YouTube channel. It follows. Nuke's top 5 viewer MK1 worked overnight security at a brewery. He says that one of his co-workers always claimed to experience spooky occurrences around the factory, but MK1 never believed him. Until this night. On this particular night, his friend says that he felt that something was watching him, maybe even following him around the brewery as he went on his nightly rounds.
Oh, that's so mad.
You can see that the guy checks behind him several times, almost as if he expects to see something there. But as he turns to walk away, that is when some odd misty shape can be seen following behind. Needless to say, after this video, MK1 never doubted his friend again.
That's creepy.
And also needless to say, they were both chilled to the core by this strange video apparition. Even creepier, MK1 says that soon after seeing this video with his own eyes, even he began to experience bizarre occurrences around the factory.
Yeah, that one's creepy, because he definitely is like watching, like he thinks there's something following him, and you got the evidence. It's creepy.
Low Murder House. In 2014, 82-year-old dog breeder John Lowe's mind just seemed to snap one night. In a fit of rage, he tragically ended the lives of his 66-year-old girlfriend Christine Lee and her daughter Lucy at his family home in Surrey, England. Lucy was somehow able to call the authorities moments before she lost her life, and John Lowe was arrested for his crimes shortly thereafter. The sudden, strange, and brutal act shocked the entire country. Since the tragedy, the house has been left completely abandoned. Paranormal investigator Simon from the YouTube channel Ghost Raiders went to what locals now call the quote, John Lowe Murder House. His intent was to try to make contact with the spirits of the victims who are still believed to haunt the scene of the crime. Together with YouTube ghost hunters Proving Demons, they try to communicate with Christine and her daughter Lucy using a spirit box. Their questions get some very strange and eerily accurate responses.
Is Lucy here? If Lucy is also here, can you say Lucy?
Lucy, whoa, that was instant and clear. Lucy is with us.
Are you here in this room with us, yes or no?
The shocking spirit box replies seem to acknowledge that Lucy and her mother might be trying to make contact with the paranormal investigators. But things get even stranger when Olivia from Proving Demons claims that she feels something touching her back.
Hold on now.
Could it be a car on the road?
It sounded
Did you just grab
behind me.
my back?
No, I didn't grab your back. Why? Video?
No, seriously, did you just grab my back?
I swear.
No,
I swear I
Like,
didn't touch you.
that was hard.
Andrew was
I
holding,
didn't touch you.
Andrew was holding with the hand that he would grab your back. The camera.
And my other hand's in my
His other hand
pocket.
was in his pocket. There was nothing that he could have grabbed his back with.
Unless my jacket was halfway up my back, something just pulled it.
Did you see it? Right before Olivia says something grabbed her back, a small light enveloped by a strange translucent mist seems to rise up and away from her. This bizarre light or mist was not even noticed by any of the explorers.
Hold on now.
Could it be a car on the road?
It
Did you
sounded
just grab
behind me.
my back?
No, I didn't grab your back. Why?
After Simon uploaded the video to the Ghost Raiders channel, keen-eyed YouTube viewers pointed out the very strange phenomenon. Now, I have to say that this clip is one of the more compelling pieces of paranormal footage that I've seen, because being able to fake this mist, time it perfectly, and then this very real reaction from Olivia when she says her back is touched, well, it all seems very hard to fake. But of course, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fucking... Like, spirit box stuff aside, I've talked about spirit boxes a dozen times now. I don't really... I don't know. I'm very much not in the believer side of things, but who knows, right? But that... I think Nuke's Top 5 says it best. Like, that would be so hard to fake that. That mist is, like, perfectly in, like, a weird spot because it's right at the light. And, like, that would be so hard to edit properly without it looking silly. Unless there's, like, a master editor on the team, right? That's very compelling evidence. Very, very compelling. I can't say that's fake. I can't. That's really weird. That was a really weird one.
See it? YouTuber Eric Gunner is an urban explorer and occasional paranormal investigator from Mexico. In one of his videos, Eric claims that a girl named Natalie contacted him about some very strange activity in her home. Natalie, who appears in the video with a teddy bear face concealing her identity, says that her mother recently rented the upstairs apartment in their house to an elderly woman. Natalie says that as soon as the woman moved in, strange things started occurring in their home. They would hear odd noises in the middle of the night. They would find random things move from one room to the other. And they would often smell an unexplained foul stench coming from upstairs. Weirdest of all, cats and dogs in the neighborhood began disappearing. As for the old lady, her behavior was odd to say the least. She avoided all contact with Natalie and her family. The woman didn't say hello or even talk to them when they passed her on the stairs. If they knocked on her door, she wouldn't answer. Natalie and her family became more and more terrified as the odd noises and events in their house intensified. Then one night, Natalie's 10-year-old sister woke up screaming, saying that her back was in agonizing pain. They checked her and found that her back was covered in deep, unexplained scratches. Well, with that, they had had enough. Without even so much as packing a bag, they fled the house in the middle of the night. As of the filming of this video, they had not been back for 2 weeks. So, Natalie knew about Eric Gunner's YouTube channel. She asked him to investigate.
De hecho, si apago la luz, la casa de arriba está prendida. Ahí es donde vive la viejita. Voy a tratar de no hacer ruido para que no me vaya a escuchar. Fíjense que a mí me da más miedo la viejita que, no sé, me vaya a parecer un fantasma o algo así.
It's fairly obvious that Natalie and her family left in a rush.
Se supone que así como dijo ella, esta Natalie, pues se fueron de rápido ese día. No recogieron nada. Dijo, pues sí, me dijo que iba a haber incluso hasta comida. Hasta frijoles aquí. Ay, huele bien feo, parece como están enlamados.
At first, it seems like there's not much to see. Just an average empty house. But then things start to get a little strange.
Lo que veo es que hay muchas fotos de niños.
Did you see it? Well, Eric didn't either, but watch again.
Lo que veo es que hay muchas fotos de niños.
YouTube commenters pointed out that it looks like a small girl dressed in all white briefly peeks out from behind a curtain. Again, I should note, the house is supposedly empty.
Ay, esa muñeca da miedo.
Eric spots a doll that seems to be a bit out of place. Little did he know that after the filming, the house's owner would tell him that the doll doesn't belong to them, and they've never seen it. But even creepier, later in the video, Eric passes by the same room again.
Nada.
Did you see it? As YouTube commenters would later point out, the doll has now vanished. Eric heads into the bedroom to investigate, and this is when things get truly bizarre.
Aquí parece que se puede subir por aquí, pero está como sellado. ¿Qué pedo? Está esta casa rara. Bueno, está construida raro. ¿Qué es esto?
And once again, I have to ask, did you see it? Something ducks out of sight under the bed. Again, Eric doesn't notice. This too was spotted later by YouTube viewers.
Vamos a ver. ¿Qué pedo? Veo que se mames.
Eric gathers his courage and heads back in to check out the curtain. It didn't go well. As he rounds the corner, a shadowy figure ducks back into the corner of the room. This time, Eric does see it.
No sé qué pensar, la verdad, si estoy ya. Tengo miedo. Ya no sé si salimos o no. No hubiera venido solo. ¿Saben qué? Si no hubiera venido solo, la cagué bien cabrón. No hubiera venido solo. Esta puerta no la ves. ¿Qué hay? El baño. Ay, güey. Me hice correr.
He heads in to check it out, but nothing there. With this, Eric has had enough. He decides to just get out of there. But that might not be as easy as he thinks. Someone in a cloak, presumably the creepy old lady who lives there, comes walking up the stairs. Eric hides until the coast is clear, then quickly makes his escape out to the street. So did Eric Gunner catch multiple paranormal encounters on video? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
Eric Gunner, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because there's so much going on, and it's such a good story, right? Like, we've painted this big picture of creepy old lady moves in upstairs, animals start dying, little sister of the family gets attacked, apparitions. Fuck, I don't know, man. It's almost too good to be true, right? Like, I'm on the fence with it. I really am. I don't know. I want to say I don't buy it. Like, it was just, everything was so perfectly timed too, right? Like, he was just in the right place at the right time for all those apparitions, and he was also at the right place at the right time to see the lady that the story we're being told is about. I just, you know, when it's too perfect and too good, it usually is. And I don't know enough about this guy's channel, obviously, and he's a content creator. I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say Cat, man. Sorry. It's just too perfect. Too perfect on everything. But, well, that's gonna wrap up this 2-hour long video. If you've made it this far, I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you type in down in the comment section the word ghost, I'm gonna put you in a drawing for a $25 Amazon gift card. And the only people who are going to be in the drawing are the people who listen to this. So I'm not going to put it in the comments. I'm going to put it in the the description box. If you made it this far, type in ghost. You might be the only person. Who knows? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like always, I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, and please let me know if you agree or disagree with me on any of these. Let's start some narrative down in the comment section below. Have a good one. Peace.